Okay, wait, this isn't gonna be very good, but I just wanted to give you some tips and shit. So, like, when I say tracing, I mean, like, if I get, hold on, is it gonna paste? Bitch. Hand. If you get a hand, it seems sort of daunting to try and go straight to, like, obviously you're not gonna learn much if you're just, like, tracing over the shapes like that. Like, you're not really, you're not taking in any new information. But a lot of people recommend, like, you can sort of see different shapes. Like, that's like a cylinder. And yeah, you can sort of like break it down more manageably into different shapes and whatnot. Like, that can be like a rectangle, fucking prism, some shit. And then I feel like you can sort of learn a lot better um by sort of breaking it down like that instead of just drawing the whole thing. And like if you get like a face, that's face. Um, yeah, you can just sort of like that's terrifying. You can do the same shit for faces. Like people usually start off with circles and shit, and then you can sort of like break it into like there's like a triangle there, there's like a square there. Sort of break it down into more manageable sort of areas of space. If you catch my drift, bro. And then there's also like if you're wanting to get better at drawing people, there's hold on, I kind of forget how to do it, but there's something called the Loomis method, which basically what you start off with a circle. This is sort of like more complicated than you need to. There's an ant on my screen. More complicated than you need to start off with, but I'm fairly sure what you do is you start off with a circle, and then you can sort of divide the face into very even sections. So that's actually not even at all. Hold on. Um, what? I'm fairly sure you start like that or something, and then you can sort of divvy it up. Draw a circle there. Don't quite remember how to do it, but basically everything in the face should fit into sort of separate quadrants. Like the start of the nose should start there, and then that's like the eyebrow line, and then you can sort of like mold the face around there, and you can sort of see how each axis of the face sort of fits on like each specific part of like like you can sort of see what I'm getting at here, like um I'm actually explaining this really terribly, like really really badly, but there are lots of different tricks that you can use to sort of get better at proportions and shit, and obviously you're not gonna get good straight away. Like obviously you sort of need to practice a lot, and I think people sort of put like a lot of emphasis on like you sort of have to be doing productive shit, but for me I feel like sometimes even doing shit like drawing circles repetitively, like as boring as that is, it actually trains your wrist to sort of become more accustomed, like just drawing shapes and shit, especially circles. Like instead of just drawing it with your wrist, people say you should draw it with your whole arm. You should get used to drawing with your whole arm, um, because it sort of like leads you to become more confident with like brush strokes and shit. Um, uh, what else? What else helped me? Yeah, pretty much like when I'm learning how to draw, when I'm trying to hone in on like different skills and shit. Um, yeah, always copying people's art, bro. I don't know why people say that tracing is such a bad thing because it's like really inherently not. Like, and I feel like for like like if you just want to like, I don't know, I'll take this shit as an example. Like if you want to sort of, if you like someone's art style, I'd recommend sort of, yeah, you can trace it, sort of see how they're breaking it up into shapes. Because everything is shapes when you think about it. When you really start thinking about it, everything is made out of shapes. So that's like a circle. Those are all circles there, bro. They all sort of lead into. That's why everyone always makes such a big deal about like drawing fucking with guidelines, because you can see how shit is broken up into shapes. And then also sort of, if you're feeling like comfortable, you can sort of go in and try to like recreate it yourself with that sort of knowledge of shape language and how that sort of works and shit. Hold on, this is gonna be terrible. I'm gonna try and draw this. Really speedrun this shit. But yeah, like, yeah, I hate when people sort of say like tracing's bad, because it's really not. Like I still do it, especially if you're doing realism and shit. Like, there's seriously nothing wrong with it. Even with like realism, if you're drawing realism, and you're like tracing to sort of get it right, there ain't nothing wrong with that. Like, it doesn't matter, bro. Yeah, sure. What was I gonna say? I'd also recommend, like, if you want to like start drawing more and shit, don't start drawing digitally if you don't have like a tablet and shit, because it's super difficult and it's gonna like stunt your progress and shit. Like, draw with like a sketch pad. Like obviously you're not gonna be able to trace stuff, but it's way easier, bro. Like trust me, you don't want to dive straight into digital art if you don't have like at least like you can get like pretty cheap drawing tablets for like $100 or some shit. But if you're like not sure that you actually want to spend money on drawing yet, just like buy yourself like a pencil and paper, bro. Like I spent like a few years, like most years, drawing with pencil and paper, and like the difference between drawing digitally and drawing physically is like so different. And it's a lot harder to get used to drawing digitally, even though they sort of seem similar in concept, but actually they're actually quite, yeah, they're different for sure. And drawing physically is still a lot easier for me, because you can sort of it feels more real, I guess. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Like shape language is super important, I think. Like figuring out, yeah, breaking shit down into shapes, super important. Like even with this sketch that I did here, I didn't break it into the shapes. I should have gone off of. You can get it way more accurate proportions if you're going off of shapes rather than just drawing like off of like what it looks like to you, because you're not going to get it. Like your eyes sort of like trained to see things a certain way, and breaking it down into shapes sort of helps you to more accurately get that right, if that makes sense. It's easier. It's easier for sure. Yeah. Basically, start drawing physically, and also there's a lot of great YouTube videos. Like if you just want to like how to draw, if you just want to look up how to fucking draw shit. Yeah, intros. Just fucking. Yeah. Yeah, obviously if you want to start off drawing like cartoony shit, you can do that, but it's easier to start off with at least like